You know,
You
while
haven't
they're
even started
talking,
recording for the show.
yeah, I
yet.
am.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Are
we're
you?
3 minutes in.
I need a beer.
And you know, while they're talking, this is awesome. I'm just going to go.
Okay.
Before we begin, it's that time. That's right. Sponsor mentions everybody. Untapped Maple. Have you tried the salted citrus? How about the coffee or simple joy of plain old maple? By the way, those there, as I said last week, and I'll say it again, perfect for the spring classics on TV. Grab a stroopwafel, put it on top of your coffee cup, let the coffee steam, heat it up a little bit, eat that. It'll make Milan San Remo's first half would be more appealing if you had stroopwafels to go. Untapped flavor, quality ingredients, no matter how you approach it. Thanks to Untapped Maple for being a part of the show. Use the link at Untapped. At packfiller.com today. Doer Activewear, everybody. Pants from plants. Blah. These 2 shows a week are just exhausting me. Best fitting, coolest looking pants and shirts you can ride around town, walk straight into a proper restaurant or boardroom without even blinking. Stretchy, comfortable, and rugged as heck. I'm trying to clean my act.
You got a haircut.
I did.
You look good.
Really?
Yeah.
My wife said I looked like I was in the military, and she said that in like, I think you're cute way, but I was like do I look like a jarhead?
No.
Huh?
No. You look like you're in the military. I always wanted to be with a man in the military.
Exactly. That's what she said, I think. So use Packfiller 15 to get your style on and off the bike with Doer Activewear. Scratch Labs, everybody. That's right. Innovation Scratch continues with new flavors, recipes, products launching constantly to help fuel your efforts. Be sure and check out the great community at Scratch has created at scratchlabs.com. They are more than just a retail site. Tell them that Packfiller sent you. So let's do this, shall we? Sure. 12 minutes into the show. Sam, read that book because it talks to you specifically about not being a dumbass wearing your helmet on the podium.
Yeah.
It's a mandatory reading for you.
It is.
That's the most real.
Which one?
Espresso or macchiato only.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's a rule I break.
And
think
an
cappuccinos
Americano if you want to just draw it out.
But you can judge away, but my coffee of choice is a
Don't say
double,
mocha.
double 8 ounce, 8 ounce latte. 8 ounce, little guy, little tiny guy.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
Is that okay?
On a ride.
So
that's
That's
basically
okay.
a cappuccino.
What
It's
is-
basically a cappuccino with
This is
foams.
wet cappuccino.
Yeah, it's a
So
wet.
what is with the fact that we as a community enjoy things that are awful? Like, we enjoy treating ourselves terribly, right? You know, on our rides, we break
Drinking
down.
excessively and
Yep.
riding
And then why do we
back.
have to have coffee that tastes terrible?
Oh, it tastes awesome.
I love the
I
taste.
love-
Well, I love coffee, but why do we have to have it black?
You're the
it's
guy
so
with the
good.
the super fruity sprinkles and chocolates.
Well,
No,
I'll tell you why.
you were the
Jackson.
one.
it's my fault now.
You
I'll
were
tell
the
you
one that
why.
told me about the raspberry mocha.
yeah, but that was to start you. That was your
oh.
entry. That was your gateway to addiction.
Oh, okay. So it's
Mocha
my
de la
fault.
Rosa.
First one's free. Yeah, and
Oh.
now you're supposed to be like mainlining espresso.
Oh well, that's gross though.
No, no.
Let me tell you about dairy and coffee. It'll make you shit your brains out.
Well, that's just
Literally.
coffee.
Now you're saying that
As a
vegetarian
lactose
boy.
intolerant. you know.
Are you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, see, that's a
Can we put
that's a
cheese-
personal condition. That's not on me.
Can we put cheese on dinner tonight?
Yeah, I'll handle it.
And we don't have to be around him tomorrow.
Theme
It
song.
takes a few hours.
It takes a few hours.
Theme song's over and it's Friday. What the heck is this? Why am I enjoying the longest running cycling focused podcast on a day that is usually reserved for an easy ride and drinking too much, therefore ruining my Saturday group ride? That's what they're probably asking while they're listening to this. Well, the reason is twofold. First, it's because this weekend starts the holiest of celebrations, the week of not Easter. The Tour of Flanders and Paris-Roubaix, and we need to psych ourselves up. Also, I will be in Idaho, so feel sorry for me because I will be in Idaho. And
Are you bringing a gun?
no, and I apparently won't be taking anybody across state lines for an abortion because they voted for that also too. So yeah.
They don't have OBs anymore, so
No.
their whole group left. And
Yeah,
Idaho.
yeah. All standpoints moving out.
What's an OB?
Yeah.
OBGYN, like a baby.
They,
girls'
they're
doctor.
seriously like,
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
all
they closed,
quit, yeah.
closed down Sandpoint.
Yeah.
holy shit, really?
Yeah, because they would get they would get thrown in jail for doing something that was going to save a mother's life.
So you're telling me there's only like 10
I'm
starters?
focusing on the show, and we're pacing ourselves, Sam.
This is starting off
If you-
really well.
Yeah, exactly.
It
Random
is Friday.
random bullshit question to the panel. When I introduce you, please let me know who is your favorite actor and why. No, least favorite actor. Sorry, least favorite actor and why. Least favorite actor and why. And in honor, I'm going to say which actor you look like. Some of you I had it immediately came into mind. Some of you I actually had to put your faces through apps. Through a computer today. By the way, you are now into the Matrix. First of all, he's definitely still looks like Dennis Christopher, Mr. Paul Maine. And if you don't know who Dennis Christopher is, you're obviously not a cyclist. David, do you know who Dennis Christopher is?
No.
Jesus H. Tap Dancing Christ.
Why'd you have to look right at me? Sam probably doesn't either.
Do you know who Dennis Christopher is?
That's a no.
Breaking Away.
Yep.
Hey!
Yeah. Very good. Very
Favorite brother so
good.
far.
Yeah. Well, he is older.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
wiser.
He is, yeah.
Oh.
Mr. Paul Maine, how are you, man?
Good.
Do you have a least favorite actor?
I had. Boy, that caught me off guard.
Male or
I know,
female?
least favorite comedy.
Mine is probably. I don't like David Schwimmer.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Pivot.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. I don't think he's a bad person. It's just I don't enjoy.
I think he's a better
I did see
director.
him in a serious role, which is a lot better. I don't like
Really?
his comedy
Okay.
side. Yeah.
Okay. Next, he is like a lanky Chris Evans in The Gray Man, and I'm saying that because of his mustache. Mr. Sam Waples. That's a huge compliment, though. Chris Evans, man. Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Man, I think least favorite. I just had to Google him because I don't even bother remembering his name. But Charlie Kelly or Charlie Day, I don't even know what it is.
What's he in?
He's in Only Sunny in Philadelphia. He's also in
Oh,
Bluegrass
the guy that's-
State, and he's in.
Yeah.
He's just
He's
kind of
not
a
the guy with
loud,
the really
obnoxious.
loud voice?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's playing Luigi in
Yes.
Super Mario's.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah,
Hey,
he is.
really?
I don't know. I find him kind of obnoxious.
Yeah.
Don't really enjoy necessarily any of the stuff that he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible Bosses.
He's in Terrible
he's in
Bosses.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. Next, and I put you into into an app, and you are apparently an unlanky John Hamm. Do you know who
John
John Hamm
Hamm.
is?
Which one?
John
I
Hamm,
think
Mad Men. Yeah. That's a compliment, dude.
Yeah.
I would take that and run with it.
He's the lead role in Mad Men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's a
I haven't seen
compliment,
Mad
dude.
Men.
I'd run with it.
I'll take it. Honestly, when you said favorite and least favorite, the same person came to mind.
Really?
I really enjoy watching Nick Cage movies,
Oh,
and you hate him at the same time, right? Like,
that's a
but you can't.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but you're
you
gonna
can't
watch
look
him.
away. It's
I
like
just
that
saw the
car
new
accident.
Renfield ad out there, and it was like going, God, he's overdoing it again. He's annoying as shit.
But we watch him.
Yeah, his Ghost Rider was
It was
horrific.
really bad.
Horrific.
And then isn't
Really
there a
bad.
Ghost Rider too?
No. Well, yeah.
Yeah, there is.
right.
There
There
is.
is.
Yeah, and he plays
Yeah.
it in both. Yeah.
Yep.
Jeez.
Bad choice. But
Now, I saw the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent recently, laughed my ass off. Nick Cage makes fun of himself, and it's great. It is a great movie.
I saw his very first film,
Really?
Valley Girls.
Valley Girls?
It sounds horrible.
He was 18.
Yep.
Yeah, he was under 18. They were looking for an 18.
Kiss of the
I can't
Vampire?
remember. I
That's
think
another
that's what
good
it was.
Nick Cage. That's a good Nick Cage movie.
he's
Kiss
got
of the
another
Vampire.
one that's coming out where he plays Dracula.
Renfield. I was just
Yeah.
saying.
Oh,
about
oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Third, he hates when I say this, but he's like a young Clint Eastwood. Jackson Polger.
Just without.
Charming son of a.
I don't.
He's
I
got
don't
young
share
Clint
the
Eastwood.
ideals.
No.
I want to go on record and say that.
Back then, he
fine.
probably was a little bit more open-minded.
Right.
Yeah.
Now
Not
he
talking-
doesn't
No.
have a mind.
Not talking to empty chairs. Yeah.
Yeah. Least favorite. I think it's a compliment that surpasses most when I refer to this person as an actor. Kevin Hart really bothers me.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart really bothers me because
Over the top.
we were talking
Yeah.
about him. I was talking about him earlier today, and I was saying that he reminds me of. Does anybody know the name Gabriel Iglesias?
Yeah.
Yeah, the comedian who everybody thought was super funny when you were in like
Fluffy.
yeah,
right?
Fluffy.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you were
yeah.
in like 8th grade, everyone was
Yep.
like, "That guy's so funny," and then
Yeah.
you're like 13, you're like, "Wow, this guy sucks."
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Wow, Kevin Hart's so funny," because I've never seen like that crazy of a style before. But
Yeah.
then I only like him as the bunny in Secret Life of Pets, and that's it.
Anything with Dwayne Rock, I actually really enjoy
You
because
just took mine, you son of a bitch.
You
just
had
took
your
and they're
shot.
always in the same comedic movies,
No, that's what
too.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like anything with those two, like
Yeah.
I actually thoroughly enjoy that because it's stupid.
I think that there is something about comedy where you have to change your style a little bit every
And
once in a
he
while,
does
and
it.
he plays the same. He's Kevin
Yeah.
Hart in every movie.
Well, so is Adam Sandler.
Well,
Let's be honest, Adam Sandler, although of Uncut Gems, Adam Sandler
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
two
yeah.
things. He can be a tough guy or he can talk like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. But he's made a fortune doing that. You know?
Yeah.
But Uncut Gems was good. Yeah, I mean, it was really good. By the way, me, I get, everybody tells me I look more and more like Kevin Kline every day. I'm Pat Bulger.
Married to a hot wife then.
Well,
BBK.
thank you very much. You think
You know-
of you thinking of "Life's a Strange Living in Stereo," that car song during
Dun,
Fast Times at
dun.
Ridgemont High when she takes her top off.
who's the
Great movie.
Who's the guy
For that 12 seconds,
Yeah.
as an adolescent, you see that and you're just like going, "I'm good."
Yep.
Who's the guy that played the Penguin in the recent
Colin Farrell.
You
Colin,
can't-
not Colin Farrell. Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is it
Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
You,
Irish,
you
yeah.
kind of
Irish
have that a little bit
Yeah.
to
Really?
you too.
Oh wow. He was in Bruges.
It's
I think you
great movie.
I think you
Yeah,
definitely do
Banshees
now.
of
What?
Yeah,
I think
that
you
was a
definitely
great
have that.
movie,
I got
too.
that going now.
Yeah.
Man.
I will take that.
Yeah.
I will take that and run with it because I have a lot of students tell me I look like Will Ferrell.
Farrell.
Well, you don't.
Yeah.
Anchorman.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my least favorite actor is Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
The guy has one skill. He can raise an eyebrow, and that is it. And you know what?
Isn't it amazing?
It's terrible. He's
so
a-
buff, though.
He's
It's like Tom Cruise.
the way you're
Slow it down over there.
Yeah,
You're thinking
He's
about it.
dreamy.
It's like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise though, the Tom Cruise run. Like that's
we
what he
know
has.
about you and Tom Cruise, and
Like-
that it's an unhealthy obsession.
Yeah, but you have to appreciate the fact that somebody could do something so basic and make millions of dollars.
You know, speaking of actors who can run, I think Michael J. Fox honestly could have a run that is faster than Usain Bolt. If you watch him, it came out of nowhere. But if you watch him in Back to the Future,
Michael J. Fox has Parkinson's. You
Well, he's
insensitive
talking
ass.
in the
I'm
past.
talking about in the past.
Yeah.
Jeez. But he's so fast.
Coming out with the heat.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow. I don't know if he can
Not
run.
now.
Wow. Why don't you just
Not
like?
My
now.
son's a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marley Matlin would be hilarious if she could form a complete sentence, or something like that.
Okay.
You know, it's just
Whoa.
because she's deaf.
The silence is really deafening.
I was
I tuned
taking
this out.
Jackson's
You know
example.
how ugly a show is going to get on Friday when all of our brains are cooked? Everybody is sitting here like a
we are
vegetable.
about to find out.
Yeah. Tune in.
Yeah, so it's only been 3 days, but let's talk to me about any training. And I don't need to know what you've done this week, but I need to know if you're stepping it up now that spring has sprung. Is anybody kind of got any plans on like going, okay, now game on? How am I going to step it up? What am I going to do next? Does anybody have any major plans or
Next weekend.
next weekend? This
Next
weekend's going
weekend
to suck
looks
here.
glorious.
Yeah.
Yeah, this weekend, I don't know. I didn't ride at all this week. I have not ridden since Monday.
Really?
Yeah, and working 410s and then all the other, like having the podcast Tuesday night and all this other stuff. I was having a time. So I'm like, I'm fine with it.
This show is taking from your life. I appreciate your
This is
donation.
My donation.
Yeah.
But yeah, next weekend, as I discussed, and then David calls last night. He says, next weekend is the weekend you're doing a lot of riding, right? I was like, yeah. And he goes, I have it off.
Oh.
Yep.
Wow.
So we're about to slay next
Grab that
weekend.
mic and pull it a little closer to your
Just,
face.
just right there.
Whoa. That worked.
A little hot.
No, that's good. I've got him cranked down here, man. It's just like going. It's just like. So okay, what are your plans next weekend?
I mean, I personally bank on doing minimum 75 miles each day.
You told me 100 last night.
I'm just saying it's a minimum 75.
Put it on the air and commit.
yeah.
Minimum 75. I committed.
God, this is reminding me of how long it took you to propose to Kinsey. All
Oh
over.
my god.
We should just all mute our mics and just let them argue. I'm just gonna put my mic away.
Forget about arguing. Let's put 2 sticks in a pen and see what the hell happens.
Thunderdome.
Yeah, I want to see blood, folks.
It was like when we were kids growing up. My parents would just throw a steak in the middle of the floor and be like, "Have at it, kids."
Dinner time.
Dinner time.
Cook it with your rage.
You got the camera on? This is a good one.
Oh my gosh.
They're just sitting back in lounge chairs.
Yeah.
Why do you think we had them?
Yeah.
Dang. I had $2 on David. You lost this time.
Oh my god.
So 2 75-mile days?
100.
All right,
You
fine,
said it.
100. When I rip your legs off the 1st
I'll
day and
do
you don't
one.
want to do it
You'll do
again.
one?
I don't know if okay. I like 75. It's April, guys.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, this is when
It's
you
not April.
finish
Tomorrow's
tailoring off
April.
your base.
Back at you, Dad.
Getting a little attitude. I like my boy's growing up over here. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, I feel like this is this time. That I was talking to somebody about it today that I intend next weekend is like the end of my big kind of block phase, right?
Okay.
And then it's going to be shorter, harder rides.
All right.
I don't really want to do 2 100-mile rides.
I don't.
Well, you said it, so now we're doing
You
it.
were totally.
So this is your fault.
Yeah.
No, he's the one who said it. I just think that
You
you know,
pushed
if he's
him.
going to talk big, he's got to back it up with.
All right. Well, you better do it too. Otherwise, one of us is a little bitch.
You want me to ride to your house and pick you up and then drop you off and ride home?
Sure.
Okay.
How about the rest of us who don't have pent up daddy issues? Are you doing anything? Are you stepping
Well,
up?
I'm trying. As you know, there's a change in my life
Yeah,
potential,
yeah.
and so there's some obligations at home that I have to get my
Sure,
house
sure.
in order. So,
Nothing bad.
No,
in case
nothing
anybody's
bad.
wondering.
No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a new
yeah.
vacuum.
So
holding the cards
I'm
to the
hoping
chest.
I'll get out sometime, like both days.
Yeah.
It'll be after Ronde van Vlaanderen on Sunday for sure.
Oh yeah.
But the weather's a little bit better then, so Saturday will probably be, some indoor thing because that's all I have for the time.
sure,
for.
sure.
But yeah, I mean, after that, I got to go full gas because I'm a month away before. Ready, everybody? Tour
No.
de Bloom.
Drink. By the way, I'm going to make a T-shirt that just says "Tour de Bloom"
Drink.
and Roger on it, and the back will say,
Say
drink.
drink.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you said them both.
It's a Friday night. Let's tear it
How
down.
you're a month away?
Yeah, May.
Oh shit.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
First weekend of May.
Jackson, are you stepping it up?
I mean, I want to go outside. I would rather.
You're like a dog
fine.
staring at the door.
Yeah, seriously. I like weather tomorrow and weather today just kind of depresses you. But hearing that friends will be out and about
Yeah.
riding makes
And now
me
you have a gravel bike.
exactly. I have more than one option. But yeah, I think I just want to start riding outside, getting more than just 30 minutes off of the trainer
Yeah.
because I don't want to be on anymore.
Yeah.
High 60s coming up here.
Yeah, I
I
heard
know.
65 on Easter day.
weekend. Easter weekend.
Yeah.
For those
Yeah.
of you that are non-Catholic, it's next
Peru
Sunday.
Roubaix. I'm sorry, folks, but
Yeah.
it's Peru Roubaix.
Yeah.
The Lord's Day.
I am heading to Lewiston, Idaho, which, as I have said a couple times,
Poor
on Sunday.
son of a bitch.
Well, it's always there's a good thing and a bad thing about Lewiston, Idaho. Number one is the bad thing. It's in Idaho, and it smells like somebody cooked broccoli too long when you're there. It's a pulp mill, and so it stinks for about 10 hours, and then your sinuses get used to it, and you just breathe it. Wow. And the good reason is it is usually at least 5 to 10 degrees warmer there. And so that's why I'm going. I'm going there with my RV. I'm going to sit in it, and I'm going to ride every day. And that's what I'm going to do. That's my training camp. So I'm there. I'm technically can be there all the way through Thursday, but I'm through Friday, but there's a question coming up shortly as opposed to how long I'm actually going to be there or not. So in case you just stepped off the bus and figured out that I have been out of commission for basically the past 6 weeks, I'm going to go and try and get a little bit of a fitness base. Just try and kind of put some time in, put some hours in, go put some efforts in and go from there and just kind of see what happens. Yes, I am still on blood thinners, so if I get hit by a car, it was nice knowing every one of you. But, if you get hit by a car anyway,
you
what's
really
the
wanna
chances,
live?
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm here.
Present. Yeah.
But if I got hit by a car badly enough to bleed to death,
yeah.
I bleed to death.
Please don't.
That was really depressing.
You know,
On a better note.
Yeah.
You got a helmet. Scalp wounds are the bleeders. So outside of that,
Yeah, you're fine.
The real bleeders.
So there we go. So I've been watching a lot of ultra distance videos on YouTube. I've made eye contact with Paul because I knew he was going to roll his eyes, and I'm going down the rabbit hole of the ultra distance thing.
You've been doing
again.
the vegan cyclist
I
train.
have been. My
See the
wife.
most recent?
My wife is into the vegan cyclist.
He's good. I mean, honestly, his content's great.
Jackson, you're the one who turned me into it, and you're shrugging.
No, it's tough because I think I've become on the other side of things. I think that I want to preface this by saying that I think the work he does is really cool stuff, and I think that he puts a lot of work into making the community a better place.
I
He
agree.
also does bother the shite out of me, though.
Why?
Just
How so?
Just the way he speaks
Really?
sometimes bothers me a little bit, and the relationship with his significant other sometimes.
Really?
The way they speak to one another really shows me that there's just ideals there that I don't know if
it seems like they have a pretty healthy relationship.
It does, but sometimes like in between the lines you can see things that just bother that rub me the wrong way. And I'm not
Really?
saying that this is at all true, but I'm just saying
No.
that like
That's interesting.
sometimes the way that they speak kind of
Really?
I got it.
bothers me a little.
I have to
I'm
agree
being
on
too
that.
nice. I
He is
think.
a little bit too Californian for me on
Yeah,
this speak.
yeah.
So.
Thank you
Yeah.
for putting that
Yeah.
in a better way.
But
California.
I think he does a splendid work, and I think it's interesting. And I saw his
He
his
turns
most recent
every
one.
race and ride into a story,
Yeah,
which
and-
I think is
Yeah.
really
And the way he
impressive.
does it, he gets the mouth. I mean, he takes his GoPro and sticks in his mouth. He
Yeah.
carries like 3. I'm like,
He's got like
Whoa.
9
He's
batteries.
Clearly,
with him.
he's clearly like setting
He's-
films up, walking by like Survivor Man used to.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a lot of work. So
Well,
I respect to him for that. But
like I said, I respect what he does and the work he puts into his things. I think the best way I can put it is his delivery and my delivery. I can tell
Yeah.
that he and I are two almost polar opposite individuals,
yeah.
and so I don't identify with that.
Okay.
It's not that he's doing anything wrong. It's just that's who he is.
I believe
his latest one. Did you see where he won the
Yeah.
national championships?
it was a great.
Yeah, it was good. It was
piece.
interesting piece and stuff, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. And I like that he finally found his niche in cycling. He wanted to be good. I like that storyline that he was carrying. That he's never.
Yeah.
And I think that's great, but not at one moment in that whole thing I thought, shit, I'd like to try that. I just like,
see.
oh,
There's something in me.
well, did you
that
guys see the
wants
most
to do
recent
that.
one? The dark side of
Yeah.
like
I have.
Like,
I
hiking
won't
biking for
watch that. I've had enough
sincerely
of distance stuff.
20 hours. He's hike biking,
Oh
like prolonged. He'll be walking his bike for 5 hours.
no.
No.
That's
Like-
that's what I did at Leadville. I mean, at Leadville, you get to a point where, because it just bottlenecks
Yeah.
so bad that you end up walking for. I think I walked for about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So you just weren't fast enough to be ahead of those people.
Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much.
But you don't have a belt buckle like he does.
Yes.
True.
Where is it?
It's
True,
right by
it's-
the big glass. The
it's
boot,
around.
boot glass.
No, that's a Pilsner beer one, but I think it might be over behind you guys.
Because your metal. Oh yeah. Nope.
Yeah, the
Right.
medals are, but the belt buckles are around here somewhere. It's how important it is to me.
Yeah.
It's somewhere.
Because you walked for an hour and a half.
No, it was a great experience.
Okay.
That lamp, isn't that cool?
Oh, no, not saying it's by the lamp.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's behind it. It's
Yeah.
behind a campy derailleur. I find myself. Yes, I understand that as you get older, that something part of your life can kick in. You know, doing decades and decades and decades of athletic endurance events, that kind of stuff kicks in. But I have also found that my body kind of likes it. And when I was younger, I do remember the stage race goes on, my body seemed to continue to do well. And so I don't know, I might be signing up for some of that stuff this year. Well, let's go. I've got one at the end of the summer. I have signed up for a
May
race in
5th.
Whitefish. Whitefish.
May 5th.
What's May 5th?
We're riding down to Palouse.
The Palouse is like 10 blocks away.
No, we're riding
Palouse
to
Falls.
Palouse,
Palouse Falls.
Washington.
Why?
Nope.
Why?
Yeah, because it's a 100-mile gravel ride each way.
Each way?
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it in 2 days?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And then we're just going to rate it out for points. You can camp. You can get 10
Oh
points.
yeah. We challenged that one. Okay, yeah. I'll do that.
I'm
May 5th?
sleeping in a freaking hotel.
Well, you don't get the points then.
That's fine.
All right. You guys, Sam, talk to me about. Do you want to talk about Thursdays?
Yeah, I mean, we have to decide when we want to start them. I was thinking first Thursday of April, but also I'm a wimp, and like if it's raining and 45 degrees, personally, I'm not going to be there. But that's the joy.
What's the word we're all looking for here?
I'll look
Starts
right now.
with a B.
Rule 9.
Rule
9.
You won't go.
You're over. I
Number
over here.
9.
I
Yep. Rule
It's
number 9.
actually
What's rule 9 again?
53 and partly cloudy.
If you're out riding in bad weather, it means you're a badass. Period.
Yeah, not badass. The other word with the B I was thinking of is the one you constantly use. So if you're going to lead this charge, you got to do a rain or
I've
shine.
already talked about this. I will organize it, but I may not be there every Thursday.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's one.
Yeah, it is.
I'll be there if as long as my part of my life that's changing is not going to interfere. And I hope it blows like 20 miles an hour and it's pissing rain.
Yeah. Because he'll
what
be
I'm
there.
looking for.
He'll
Yeah.
still be there. Yeah,
No.
exactly.
No.
So
I'm way too
Rule
soft.
9.
We're
Rule
talking
9.
about a group ride.
Yep.
Just a group
Thursday
ride.
night group ride. We'll probably do a couple different courses, but it'll be 30-mile range, and it's a mock race, but it's open roads, so you have to be aware of traffic.
What's the invite list? Is it exclusive?
Anybody
Is it
in the region
Anybody? Okay.
that wants to come out,
Just don't be an asshole.
just don't be an asshole.
Okay.
I feel like it's going to be self-sorting in the sense of it's going to get lively at some point,
Yeah.
and you'll figure your way out what group you should be riding with.
I would just on your sake, and I'll be the asshole. Don't be an asshole and don't break traffic laws.
Don't break traffic laws. I will yell at you,
Yeah.
and
As
I
the
will
British
be your
would
worst
say,
enemy.
don't be a twat.
Don't be a twat.
Yeah, there we go. On
And
top,
so are you going to open up that Facebook?
It is on.
Region?
It is
Okay.
open.
What is
Spokane
it?
Cycling Worlds.
There we go.
Yep.
I'll write that down later.
It's a group.
That's a lot of words. I mean,
3
letters.
words. Spokane Cycling
Well,
Worlds.
it's 3 letters. It's a lot of letters.
Oh.
I'm tired.
It's Friday. I get it.
Tired.
Yeah. On top of that, we should plug our friends at Badlands for putting together the revised Twilight series here locally. I mean, I know for people not listening in our local community, you're probably switching it to Joe Rogan. Idiot. Don't do it. Badlands.org. Right?
Yep.
Badlands.org. Great local
Two
club.
D's
They're putting
on
it together.
bad.
BADDLANDS. Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of having it all on Thursdays. Hopefully, everybody goes out to those. It's
Yeah.
cool. I mean,
so they're
I mean,
used to Thursdays are set aside for bike racing. So when they have a race, we obviously aren't doing it.
Nope,
Yeah.
we're going out there, and
Yeah.
hopefully everybody else does.
My goal is to hit
And
everyone.
I'm sure
Yep.
on Spokane Worlds, you'll say
Yep.
no ride, go to
Go to
Yeah.
the race.
Yeah.
get
There we
your
go.
butt out to Badlands.
Yeah.
We last show we spoke about the struggles of bike racing predominantly on the road end of things, and after our show aired, news of arguably the biggest regional stage race, the Tour of Walla Walla, has decided to close its doors, including the race this year, and indefinitely. And that is a gigantic blow to our regional road cycling community. No official reason was given, but one can assume it's probably due to low registrations, high costs, and just plain old burnout of the promoters and everything that they were going on. I was fortunate enough; I announced the crit there one year, and it was a great downtown crit. Really good event.
wine.
Yeah, I mean, what? Geez, yeah, I mean, better wine than Suck It, California.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful wine there. And it's interesting being again a little bit behind the scenes with some of the emails I've been seeing from our regional organization, stuff like that. Seeing a little bit of despair. Is this the beginning of the end? Is my first question.
No.
No. What's happening to road racing in this?
I do think that road racing, pure like a road race, is going away. I think it's going to be taken over with fondos and gravel grinders and things like that. Like if you want to spend that many
Indefinitely,
hours,
or just as
It's a
the
domestic-
pendulum swings one way.
as the domestic scene goes. Yeah, I foresee it's going to migrate to crit series. Like you'll have a 3-day crit series, which is, like 45 minutes. It's the American attention span. And then we'll be doing, gravel grinders and Grand Fondos as a race,
Paul, I know
road.
this probably hits you the most in the solar plexus.
Well, I think I started like road racing. It's great. That's what everybody really prefers to do. That's the traditional type of racing that we know. But it is the way the USACK has set it up. There was on Facebook for Turd to Bloom. Ace mentioned about. Yeah, there you go. That he said, it's an unfortunate thing that Walla Walla went away, and he, commended them and said thank you for the years. I mean, I think it's like 20, 25 years it's been going on. And his race has been, I think, higher numbers. And he says it's just a continuous burden of finding volunteers, and everything is doubled. The permits for to close down roads or to have races on there increase, and USAC has also doubled their insurance, at least more. And so the cost of putting on races, and then I think the COVID thing kind of like backed people off a little bit. I think the numbers, for some reason, I don't know why, but that urge to go do a bike race is a little different. So I think those things. I think you have to hit bottom before, and I don't have the answer, but I think that USAC has to figure out another way, and you, I know, have been doing research on an alternative outside of that. If you put on a race.
Yeah, I have. And I'm gonna get to that. Do you think? And this is open to anybody.
For fuck's sake.
It's better. It's better. I've got too much CO2 in one of the kegs. Is it? I wonder if after COVID that we all as athletes became more hesitant to commit to events where. Especially because the ease and immediacy of internet registration, that I'm not going to sign up until day of, or maybe the night of, or something like that, because I don't know if another global pandemic's going to land in my lap and I'm going to be out or something like that. Is it that? Is it? We talk a little bit about USAC, which is a unfortunately perfect
shit show.
Yeah, just sack of
shit show.
Yeah, it's we know there was a shift to masters racing because that's where the money was. We know there is and I want to get to let me start there because I do have something I want to shift towards Jackson with the younger generation thing. So, what do we think it is? Is it the promoters? Is it old school promoters who don't understand that people are still going to register for their race? Is it USAC's shift to masters racing emphasis? Does anybody have is being a roadie just not cool anymore?
I don't know. I think that somewhere along the line we lost your generation, right? Because you had kids, and that took away from racing, rightfully so. And so you guys had the largest.
Masters is where they're putting all the money in, and I think the Masters are the biggest. Masters is the biggest field.
Yeah, you guys are coming back.
Oh.
So my generation, I was the last of the generations that had bike racing. I was every single weekend starting collegiate all the way through August. I could race every single weekend in the Northwest. That went away in my generation. And so there's the new generations. It's like, oh, you want to race? Okay, well, you got to drive 8 hours.
Sure.
Every single weekend. And it might just be a Fondo. So I think that it's slowly disappeared and gone away. But as you guys come back, I think that it will slowly uptick, but I do think that it will change its face and that it's going to be crit series and stuff like that. And look how big those things are and how popular they are.
Do you explain the crit series because it is a permit insurance type of easier format in which to produce?
Yep. Less volunteers needed, right? Like spread out over miles of road. And it's more of a spectator-friendly thing. Like, it's way easier. For instance, in Spokane, it would be easier to go to the Perry District and say, hey, guys, I could bring 1,000 people in, for a night of bike racing. Would you be interested? And everybody would be like, yes.
And
right?
with a proper announcer, all the people in your pub could learn about bike racing and suddenly be excited about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Especially as a sponsor.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Jackson, well, actually, no. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to get this to the point. I have talked to the people involved with OBRA, Oregon, and they also have a little bit bigger expansion organization. It's national it's NA something. But anyway, the point of it is they also are able to insure and promote races outside of Oregon. Have any of you guys looked at the OBRA's website? I mean, and
I have, because I've had to register through them before.
I get an email all the time.
Talk to me about what they're doing. This is for people overseas and who might not understand what we're talking about. This is Oregon's independent bicycle governing body. And what it does is they are actually saying, you know what, we want to be a part of United States cycling. We are cool with USACK, but here's the deal: we want bike races to happen, and we want to get rid of some of the bureaucracy that's going on,
some of the blubber
and the cost.
And so what they've done is they've found their own insurance policy, they've found their own permit process, they've found their own. They have the classic trailer unit, type of a situation. You have to pay a separate fee to become an OBRA racer. Sometimes it's $1 a day, and then there are extra fees added on to your individual race fee that the promoter adds to the entry fee, so it's included already. So if you're paying $50 for a race fee, $9 of that is going to OBRA or whatever it is. But they've also, Jax, I don't know if you said you've seen the website. They have junior development programs. They have promoter assistance pages. They have all these types of things wrapped within the organization.
Yeah, I mean, I've attended an OBRA sponsored event before, and it is definitely not as many hoops to jump through, which I really appreciated. But also, it's not very different either, though. It's a guy sitting at a table giving you numbers, which I really did appreciate the opportunity to give numbers. But it is, when I went, my USACK license was, college student. I don't want to spend $110 to have a USACK license, and I didn't need to do that.
You just bought an OBRA license.
I just bought a day license, and I raced, and that was super convenient to me, especially like as an Oregon. As an Oregon-based cyclist, you wouldn't have to shell out that extra however much money. I liked it. Never had any issues, and they were really accommodating to whatever you needed. But also, you can tell that this is old hat to them. They are used to putting on races that are of a higher volume numbers wise in terms of what I've seen here in Washington. So it was good, well-oiled machine.
I would like to just throw out the fact that they are not trying to fund a national program, right? Like they have juniors development and all that, but take a poll, USACK. How many of your USACK license holders want to support that? And I'm gonna run this back to Voldemort, right?
Sure.
Both increasing bike racing because he got me into it when I was a kid, but also he was the downfall. Lance Armstrong.
Oh.
David's over
We
here
do you
do you
said
ever
his
listen
name,
to this
you
podcast?
bastard. Oh.
Do you listen to this?
Name?
Anyway, okay, where I'm going with this, I'm going to speed it along, is
You know,
that
I'm about to give up on this asshole at the end of the bar.
I told you guys, I don't know why we brought him
He's
on.
only got so much space in that brain for medical stuff, for this bicycle and stuff. Well, you know.
Oh my god.
But like, ever since that all broke with Lance Voldemort, sorry, but
Idiot.
the government stopped funding the USA cycling, right? So
Yeah.
they don't pay for the Olympic team of cycling or anything. That's all put on by USACK, which is brought on a large part by our fees, right?
Okay.
So
What?
my thing is like, well, either the U.S. needs to step up and fund the cycling team, and that's not on a license holder, or who cares? And if a rider's going to make it to that level, they'll make it to that level, and EF can pick them up, and EF can front a Olympic bill. I'm just saying, Obra's doing it right, and that it's bare minimum. We want to see bike races. This is what we can offer you, and it's just our costs, right?
Yeah.
That's what bike racing should be. Like, we're not out here to make money. You might get a cool water bottle.
It's about permits, insurance, and volunteers.
Exactly.
That's 100% what making a bike race is the biggest fears.
Yeah.
And of course registration numbers, but
Yeah.
you know,
Over crushed it without that.
it's. By the way, for those of you wanting to know if you're in the States, nabra.us is the website for their. Chuck Kenlin is the guy. He's been on this show before. He's the one I contacted recently about putting on a bike race here in Spokane, and I said, "Hey, I'm worried about what USAC is doing. Seeing these races collapse, not a whole lot of sport organizations. What do you guys think?" And I've yet to talk to him, but he responded to me via email, and I hope it's okay to say this on the show. That he said, "I think we can make it happen. We can make those types of events happen." And yes, officiating changes. The rules of officiating changes. The concepts of your own equipment, trailers, and providing your own cones and flags and flashers and stuff like that. You're probably we would probably have to find out a way to make that happen here locally, because they're not going to ship a trailer down here. WSBA has trailers, but is WSBA willing to work with somebody outside of USAC? So that's where, a whole lot of stuff has to happen. But I'm tired of, I'm really tired of bad news in the world of road cycling. And as we talked on the show last week, I'm tired of bitching about the fact that road cycling's dying. And I think that there are enough people out there with this seed in the back of their head about, I just want to put on a bike race. And I think there needs to be a way to help those people with those seeds in their heads put on these races, yours truly included. I'm terrified of doing it because I don't want to lose my fucking house if somebody crashes in turn 3, but I also think, this sport needs to grow. My point that I wanted to ask Jackson about was the generational issue. We see younger generation, and I don't mean to refer to you as like a kid or anything, Jackson. I apologize,
No,
but
it's not that way.
but when you started bike racing, you probably did it because your dad made you do it. But there was nothing holding you to it. You didn't have to keep doing it, yet you did. And what I'd like to know, what intrigued you about the sport, what brought you into it. You had one or two other juniors that you raced with, yet you persisted. What is it about the sport that you are engaged with, and what do we need to do to get other people your age and younger into the sport?
I mean, what first kind of got me into it was I've always been very competitive, and I like the idea of not having to. Well, I mean, while having to rely on a team, it sometimes comes down to an individual basis, and I think that's something that moving from a wholly team sport I was really looking for. And I find the grit and kind of determination of just one individual against another individual to be really exciting. But then there's also, with that, funnily enough, there's a camaraderie that this sport brings that I don't think a lot of other ones do. We all get to share in a pretty much similar experience, and a pretty deep, like, emotional experience that a lot of other sports don't really get to have. And I think that connection is what has kept me. The competition is what always intrigues me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that it is a very accepting sport, but on the outside, it's presented as a very non-accepting sport. And that,
road is.
Yeah, road specifically, and that's what I have the most experience with. But I mean, to get kids involved, I think that it's important to, first of all, just tell them that it's okay to lose. I think that's really tough, especially now. As somebody who works in childcare, I feel like I have the right to say that I see a lot of kids not really having to experience that opportunity of, like, losing. Everybody gets to win now. Everybody gets a piece of something, and I love and as I always say in my job, I love that we all get to share together. We all get to work together, and that's another great part of the sport, that we all get to work together. But not everybody's going to be the first name there, and I think that is the first place to start.
Yeah,
because you will win way more than you will lose, and that I think also can. Sport.
I think you'll lose more.
Excuse me. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Win.
Yeah, you'll lose a lot more than you win. And I think that
Bless you, Jackson.
Yeah.
But I think that also teaches a lot of great life lessons in it too.
Yeah.
Like the sport that you will lose a lot more than you will win, and kind of like finding that comfort in that is, I think, a great place to start for these children. But also, it's a great release of freedom. You get to go into places you've never seen before. That is, I think, what's really cool to a kid, is there's a sense of adventure on something that you can control.
Do you think it's the fact that kids have changed, or do you think it's the fact that equipment's become too expensive? Those are the two things we seem to kind of lean toward.
I think it's probably a little of both. I mean, even when
we couldn't afford it.
Yeah, when we were kids, we didn't race. We did some rides with our dad on some old steel frames that he traded stereo equipment for or something. But
that's not a joke.
And I fell off a truck.
Only a high five.
Yeah. And I used to go to Wheelsport and just walk in and look at, like, the S-Works bikes, and, like, I would think about what it would be like to have one of those someday. I still have never had an S-Works bike. But
I have.
Yeah, well, anyways, but that's like growing up, it was unattainable. Like, just getting the equipment was unattainable.
So
no, totally.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Right. But the local juniors team does do a very good job of making all that approachable.
Yeah.
I think that there is definitely a healthy balance. Yeah, kids are, I'm going to just say, afraid to engage and lose. Right?
Yeah,
but
that
like
was
failure.
Interesting point, Jackson.
But failure is such an important thing. I mean, I remember losing soccer games and my dad being like, "Hey, look, like, this is what you got to work on."
Yeah.
You know, like, they played better, and so it's one of those things that just motivated me to be better.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
I think there's another element there that if you ask the average elementary kid, especially in Spokane, about road bicycle racing, they have no clue.
Yeah.
There's no exposure, and I think that's probably, you could say, and most of the United States. So we're not tapping into. We have over 350 million people.
Yeah.
And here's a small little country that's got a population of, like, Seattle area. You know, metropolitan areas cranking out the best. So I mean, I think we haven't.
What country was that, Paul?
Slovenia.
Yeah. No, okay.
Yeah. You know who that is.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think while these guys were talking, and you had a father that introduced you. You had a father that introduced you to it.
Yeah.
I had no one.
Yeah.
I loved bicycles since I was, like, on my trike. I couldn't get. My dad said you couldn't get me off the bike.
Really?
I was like, yeah. For some reason, it was just a natural thing for me. But I never really raced until I was in college, and so, you know, there was no opportunity. So, you know, looking at these different scenarios, and same with Jackson, was exposed because of you.
Yeah.
So in the 90s, there was a team that I rode for, and I finally got fed up with it. It was like 92. And I went to LC, a local school, which is in this area here.
Yeah.
And I did a presentation about road cycling.
LC
Fights for fame. Never show her loyalty, ever cheer her name. Rah, rah, rah.
Loyal sons of
All the sea, fight for the orange and black.
Keep
our colors a flying high and fight, fight, fight. Oh my God. Yes.
Fight, I'll say.
LC Tigers.
I spilled on myself.
We know where you guys peaked.
Mr. Reed.
Yeah, Mr. Reed.
Mr. Reed, yeah. So Mr. Reed's
I'm not sure if that's
classes,
foam from the beer in my
he was
lap
there
or
when
if
you
I
were there?
just really enjoyed that.
No, not when I was a student.
Oh my
okay,
God.
No, so Mr. Reed, he actually came to the bike shop and said,
Yeah.
I want alternative because not everybody can play football, basketball, baseball. So I said, yeah, I'll do something. So I had, really cheap. I had, VHS tapes of races, and I picked out like what positive things and what winning's like, and then the downfall of crashing, and then we had a couple of guys, like what we do in the wintertime on rollers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids just like, as soon as it was over, they were coming asking questions. They were just totally, I had no resource. I didn't prepare for, so I got them interested. Now I have nothing.
Yeah.
I don't have, USACK doesn't have anything.
And
At
it's
that
the
time, USACK.
cross-country running kids who
Well,
are just,
even-
boom, they go straight to
even
it.
there's it wasn't just them. There was a lot of like, that was cool. I mean, they'd never seen anybody ride rollers or
Yeah.
bike racing on television.
Yeah.
They didn't even know it existed, and they wanted more, and I had nothing. I didn't have anything local. I wasn't set up to do it.
Yeah.
So
I
think that's what we need to work on.
You're spot on because we know someone who highest did a bike fit on, and he's doing the road racing this year because he went to Boise and just so happened to see the Boise Twilight Crit, and he goes, "It was cocaine."
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
I believe that as a master, I'm gonna drop one of my bombs. We can all fuck off. I mean, honestly, we're good, right? We need to start in the finish line. If you're going to complain about the prize list at a Masters race, you can just go to hell. Just shut the fuck up and go away, right?
There's three. You just.
I know, and I'm angry. We don't matter anymore. We are going to be dead when the sport needs youth. Okay, sorry to be depressing, Jackson, but your father's going to die someday. But what we need is we need a youth movement in this sport again, just like we did in the '80s. And so in order to do that, I hate to say this, all of us old assholes need to get off our butts and do a lot of things. We need to do these simple, from the simplest little thing like showing a kid what it's like to ride rollers to, I don't know, how many of us think we're going to make a ton of money off of the sale of our old bike that's been ridden for a while when we should just shut the hell up and donate our bike to a kid. Or I wish there were organizations that every community had a place where you could take these racing bikes. Somebody's going to tune it up and turn it around and go, "Hey, kid, I'm not going to say free. If you could, some dentist comes in and takes his, $10,000 Pinarello he's ridden 5 times to Starbucks, cool. Maybe you sell that for $2,000 or $4,000 or something like that. Yeah. And you get these bikes sitting in our basements. I'm just as guilty. I have 4, 5, 6 bikes in this basement that kids could race today. And Jackson did. So this is what we need to do. We, as the old farts in the sport, need to get off our asses and understand that it's not about us anymore. It's about creating a new generation of the sport. And all we got to do, give some of your stuff away, or help somebody if they're putting on a race and you want to race the crit. Stand on the corner with a flag for half the race and then race your own category. Can you tell him a little emotional about this? Because I think road cycling doesn't have to die. It is a beautiful sport. We all at this bar are here because we believe that road cycling is a beautiful sport. But you know what? It ain't gonna last much longer.
I'm with you. I've 100%. Like, I donate parts to the local junior teams, all that. Because that's the next generation, and I will never forget. I could not have afforded to do a lot of the stuff that I did if I didn't have the assist from like River City, for instance, or from like any of the other teams that we were on.
So I think we all agree on that, but I think we need some resource. I look at School of Cross does a wonderful job.
Brilliant group of people.
That's exactly where they need to start.
Yeah.
But where do they go from there? If somebody's interested in road racing, it's like they're in the wild.
Yeah.
They have no direction.
But they
so
do.
I think they'll guide you a little bit, but I'm going to put the pressure on government bodies that have a junior program, and I could be wrong, but I don't think USACK really does have something that, like, what can we do as a collective to get junior cycling? I mean, we could put on as Packfiller and just do what I did, at high schools and say, just present them, like, this is, anybody interested, but we need a place to take them, and we need a source to. We don't. There's only a few of us that can actually help. We need a bigger nationwide thing.
Absolutely. And we all have lives going on,
exactly.
and because
we
it's
can't
like
be there every week. And
the five of us wouldn't be able to show up constantly to coach a team of juniors unless we dedicated a huge amount of time. And I'm not going to lie, if there was a financial offset to cover your ass when you're, because time is money. So
on that, look at how successful, like, high school cycling. What is that program called? Junior high.
and NICA or something like that.
It's really big in Colorado, and it's pretty successful here in the state of Washington. But where do the kids go from there? There isn't anything to go further, and I blame.
I think that once you go into college, though, you join your collegiate team.
Yeah,
For those
how'd that work,
haven't.
Jackson?
So, still waiting for an email.
Yeah.
See, that's
Jackson sent an email
what school did you go to?
I went to the University of Portland, and
There's your problem.
And on the second, what?
Whoa!
But I'd probably say my sophomore year, no, my freshman year, I emailed, and we're still waiting for one.
Yeah.
So
He emailed the cycling team.
I don't remember University of Portland League. I remember Portland State.
I don't think anybody remembers the
Is there a cycling team?
there was at one point.
Back in the 70s?
Yep.
Yeah.
They have an email, so send them there if you just want nothing.
Couldn't have been the 70s. There was an email.
Yeah.
David, you got anything to jump in? We've been kind of dominating.
No, I mean, I just
Just
think,
gonna
Classic.
I mean, I just think about all the. All right.
All right.
I just think about the only youth programs we have here are for mountain biking, and those are successful. But we have nothing for road cycling.
Cyclocross we do too.
Yeah, and cyclocross, and I have friends in medicine that have kids that are participating in both those, and they would probably kill it at road biking.
Mhm.
They just have the physique, but they have no
There's
way to
nothing for 'em.
participate. Yeah. So
Well, and I'll just give
And
credit.
disposable income
Yeah.
because they're in the medical field.
exactly.
You're right.
But we have to throw a bone to Badlands because
That's
going to
save us.
Yeah.
That's going to save us. Yeah, that entry
there's
level
no-
category.
Hats off.
Their races
Good
are
on you,
invited.
Badlands.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a plug.
I think I have a cheer. Do I have a cheer?
And I think when we
order
put on races,
Yeah.
when the team I was affiliated, we put on our race, and it was free for juniors, and the numbers weren't extremely high, but a lot of them almost all of them really appreciated that and loved it. But the numbers weren't compared to cross, and I think it's just exposure is a huge part of that too.
That's
But
what
even the West Side has rad racing.
Yeah,
And,
great team.
Cross team.
Decades
but they
old team.
Exactly, but they still like maybe showed up like 8 riders to a road race.
Yeah.
At least
That's
that was
8
when I was
riders.
racing.
They'll bring 30 to the 24-hour mountain bike race.
Totally.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is that, I think, in Spokane, if we could get like 5 kids, that'd be huge.
Yeah.
It would be huge.
Okay, we aren't going to solve the problems, and it is Holy
Why?
Week. It is Holy Week, and if I don't switch to Holy Week because we're an hour into the show already.
Yeah, we need to have at least Paul give him an hour.
Yeah.
Paul, this is your section. I'm going to tune out.
Yeah, from the beauty of Flanders Field to the roads of northern France, this week has long been the ultimate 2-day Super Bowl for cycling fans. And that is almost an insult to say Super Bowl. No day-to-day tactics, no long-term objectives, just 2 beautiful days of brutality, pain, luck, both good and bad, and time-honored traditions associated with our sport. So and that's why we're doing this. I'm going to be gone next week, so we're going to cover both Flanders and Roubaix in one show. And I know that's probably sacrilege, but let's see what we can do. So which of the two were you guys most excited about and why? Jackson?
Paris-Roubaix. I usually watch almost all of that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah, Paris-Roubaix.
Paris-Roubaix. Paul? Well,
Roubaix is just slightly more than
Really?
Flanders. Yeah, I love Flanders. I think it's so unique.
I'm going to get to
but-
you on this
yeah.
here. David?
Roubaix.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm leaning more towards Flanders. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just I love Roubaix, but the Flanders with the climbs adds a little bit more. Bam. Paul, set the stage for us as somebody who's been there more than once.
I told you?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's no. Where's my what? That's this one. What? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is. They're right next to each other.
Well, I'll just a scenario. So my good friend Dave, Dismount Dave, and I went in 2013. We just saw Roubaix. We missed the start of Flanders. It was a gift. That trip was a gift from my old boss for 20 years of service. So he paid for
20 years of
majority.
service and you can't book the right dates?
Well, I chose. I mean, because because Roubaix was that's one that got me into cycling.
Yeah.
I mean, racing cycling. So anyway, we saw that and we ended up on Orchy, which is a sector that's 3-star sector, and we met some guys. So our plan was 5 years later, and it was his 50th birthday. I purchased a ticket and we went.
Yeah.
And we saw Flanders and Roubaix. And it was interesting that as soon as we landed in Brussels, and you're kind of like, it's in the middle of the night for us, and we get in there, and the guy that I'm renting the car from says, what brings you to Belgium? And, we can see Tour of Flanders and Paris-Roubaix. The guy went off.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He's like, what do you think about blah, 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 blah? And he's like, everywhere you went, as soon as they know you were coming to see the race, I mean, I don't care if it's an old lady with white hair sweeping the streets. She had something to say. And then I realized this country, it is all about bike racing. It's everywhere you went, you saw it all over the place. It's number one. So we went to Flanders, and we went to our favorite iconic hill, which is in Gerardsbergen, and that's the Muir. So
talk to me about the difference between the spectator experience between the two races, because I know that Flanders Fields is almost like its own little kind of mini stadium to an experience, and Paris-Roubaix, correct me if I'm wrong, is a lot more. Okay, we got to rush to a point.
Yeah, they did. I mean, the new Flanders Tour of Flanders, which was switched in 2012-13, I think it was one of the two. They do actually a circuit and climb the same hills over and over again, so there's better viewing. And Roubaix is very traditional. They've altered it many times, trying to find cobbles and stuff like that. And you can literally, when we did during Recon Day, so Thursdays and Fridays, the teams go out before Paris-Roubaix and they ride the cobbles. And so Dave and I hopped in the car and we went to the Arnberg Forest, watched them come in. Then we went to Cafard de l'Arbre. I mean, you can hit several just watching the riders go by, and it's awesome. And you can do that in a race, but it becomes kind of a gamble because everybody else has the idea. And so we chose to stay in one place. And Flanders, I mean, you can sit on the Quermont. I think they do that 3 times. Paterberg 2 times. So if you find your spot, but it's all asses and elbows. I mean, everybody has that same idea. Yeah. But I mean, if it smells like a brewery. Yeah. And the Belgians like to smoke, so you're gonna get used to smoking. Somebody smoking next to you. Yeah. So it's an experience, and I've been to pro football, basketball, baseball games. I've been to a lot of sporting events. There's something probably because of course I'm passionate about cycling, but the crowd is just unbelievable. It's deafening when you can hear the roar on the Muir from the middle of town, and we're at the top of the hill, and you just hear this like the sound just rolling.
The only thing that I have to compare that to, I push it away because
it You don't have to explain it.
So anyway, was when I was in Germany for like the 2010 or 11 or 10 World Cup.
Yeah.
You soccer
6.
players would know.
This is 6. 2000.
Yeah, okay.
2006, yeah.
But no, it was the next one, so it'd be 2010, and I don't remember where it was being played, but Germany was going like all the way through, and we would go to the stadiums, and it was freaking nuts. That part of the world for sporting events is unreal.
World Cup is huge.
Yeah,
bigger
but
than
so like
cycling.
I can only imagine for cycling. Like I mean, the stadium they would put screens in soccer stadiums, and we couldn't even get into the stadium. Like probably like 5 miles around that was packed in the streets.
Mm-hmm. So that's what's interesting. You know, almost tying into the conversation we were just having about the stage cycling in the U.S.
We don't have that.
People in Europe aren't bike racers.
No.
Who are watching these races?
No.
Not all of them, but I'm sure there are a ton of them that are. But it's not about that. It's about fans. I mean, you think about American football.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those people peaked in high school, who
Or
loved
even played.
watching. Or I watch I Bowl every year, and I love it. You know, I'm a fan of it.
Did you ever play?
Grade school, you know, and then a very heavy kid tore my knee out, you know, thank God. You know, because then I stopped, you know, and the way to strengthen my knee, I got on a bike, seriously. And so, but that's such an interesting dynamic. You know, you've got Europe where they just love bike racing.
Well, and I think Belgium, you know, is different than everybody. France is a different thing. When you're in the at least the sector in Orchy, all the guys that I met 5 different people the first time in 2013 and 5 different people on 2018 at the same location that are Belgian.
Yeah.
And they love Paris-Roubaix, and a lot of them don't go to Flanders.
Because they charge, right?
Well,
some areas where they charge.
that's the thing is that the promoters actually have these VIP tents you have to pay, and they have. If you look, you'll see these big tents on the Quaremont and the Paderberg, and I don't know if it's in Paderberg,
Best
maybe
spots.
Quaremont and stuff. Yeah, and they have like this. The farmers rent out their spot, and they make money, and these rich people come in and stuff. So, anyway, the thing is, that is grassroots as Paris-Roubaix.
Yeah.
And the same people go to the same spot all the time. And all those Belgians that I talked about that I met, only one raced. The rest were just like,
Just
we ride
bike
our bike
racing
once
guys.
in a while,
Yeah.
that type of thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Some of them smoke and drink, and that's their thing.
Yeah.
But they all have exposure to
That
bike
is-
racing. At
It's
some
a
point,
culture.
right?
Lifetime exposure.
Because we all, I think, in the culture you're describing, that's how everybody is here for college basketball, professional basketball.
Sure.
Because everybody's played at some point.
I never
To-
played basketball, but I
But like,
I
you've
have to
probably
watch it 'cause
gone
of my
out and
wife.
like at least shot a hoop, right? Like you've touched a basketball and like played on the
shot.
court.
Yes, made no.
But but
I'm terrible.
Someday.
I'm
Someday
so
I'll
bad
say
at
that.
basketball. Yeah.
well, either way, you
The
have,
irony
you have
is that I'm married to a
exposure.
woman who played college ball. So
There you go.
So let's. I mean, I guess for the sake of time, I've handed you guys, 2 2/3 rosters. You know, Flanders is obviously fully listed. Paris-Roubaix is not good, you know, because it's still, you know, quite a ways out in terms of what we're seeing. So I mean, we can go heavily on Flanders, and we can speculate on Paris-Roubaix, you know, and you know, nobody's holding a gun to our heads on our picks, for crying out loud. But what? First of all, let's be honest. Let's address the elephant in the room. We all know there are 3 names that everybody's going to probably pick for Flanders.
Yeah.
What is going to stop those 3 names from being the podium at Flanders?
Flat
We're all
tires.
talking about Peter, right?
Yes,
Mechanicals.
I'm talking about Peter Sagan, Peter Sagan, and Peter Sagan.
Okay.
Flat tires and mechanicals.
You think that's it?
That is it.
No. Isn't this is a long race?
Yeah. Dude, 100%. These guys, I mean, have you, like, any of the races this year, they have, like, treated the peloton as if they're playing in minor league.
It's I
It's
hate
disgusting
to
and
agree,
amazing.
but I agree.
I think there's
They-
one name that will break that, possibly, and I think it's Mads Pedersen.
Interesting.
The strength that
Do you?
he showed to close some of those gaps over the last couple of race days that we've seen him participate in have been pretty damn impressive.
Or Tim Wellens. I mean, there's a few guys.
I
that,
haven't
like,
been picking I haven't picked Mads Pedersen for this race because I want him to do well.
Yeah.
I have
You
been
picked
picking
a
him.
winner. You picked a winner earlier this year.
Yeah.
You broke the curse. Curse is broken.
Oh, well then I need to change everything. No. Yeah, I'm those three, it's just I'm now at the point where I'm picking riders I'm picking one of the three, and then the other two I'm picking completely different riders just to see what happens.
Isn't it wild though that a tour winner is among those? Like, because Matthew and Wout are unreal. Right?
They're not going to win the tour ever.
Right. No, they will never win the tour, but they are like just your Peter Sagan on crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Well, then you got Tade, who will win the tour, and he will win it probably multiple more times, and he's up there with these guys.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. That's a dream. This is
If there wasn't a guy,
What a cool
if there wasn't a
time
guy in
to
a photo
watch.
behind me, if there wasn't a guy in a
Yep.
photo behind me that ever existed, he would be the rider that everybody talked about for
Yeah.
generations.
Yeah.
He's going to
He will
be
be.
that guy.
yeah.
Yeah, he will be.
Yeah, he
I
will
think
be
so.
that guy.
he won't have the victories, but I think his diversity of wins.
But-
I think that's going to be the thing.
I think saying his name is
Tadej Pogacar, by the way, for those of you not watching on video.
Oh, yeah. I think Tadej and saying Merckx's name in the same sentence is not. It's not fair to either one of them. It is such a different sport.
Yeah.
No,
That-
totally.
because
Totally.
Paul, you mentioned the amount of victories he had. There's no way because of how different everything is now.
Nearly 500.
But like,
The peloton has changed. The peloton's deeper. I mean, I don't mean to insult the riders of the years of Merckx, but I don't know what Eddie Merckx did to prepare himself to be such a rider, but he was doing obviously something nobody else was doing.
I think he was just also genetically different. It's like
Yeah,
that
he was
perfectly.
just God's perfect monster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, to reiterate what Jackson said, the whole incident about Wout gifting the win
Yeah.
at Ghent.
Yeah.
Merckx, of course, kind of threw some shade on him, but Merckx was into to win all the time, and that was his attitude, and even if it's his teammates or not. So,
And not to insult the Godfather,
and
but
that-
he
that's
sometimes
what
needs
he's
to
saying is
STFU.
it's a different time.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a lack of a better word, more friendly on teammates as opposed to there's a hierarchy.
Yeah.
And you hear old riders even of today that are retiring, like Philippe Gilbert, says, racing is completely different when he started in the 2000s. No one gives you credit. Like, you've earned your stripes in the old days. Now it's exciting for us to watch. Before, you just nothing happened for an hour and a half.
Got all these punk kids
They had
jumping
the
off the
breakaway,
front.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they got their TV time. As soon as they heard the helicopters, it was time to race, and there was about an hour and a half. That's when the television. Now we have television coverage that kilometer zero. You're seeing Wout van Aert attacking the stage race,
Yeah.
and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And,
What a
and the game's
cool
on
time.
for
Oh, I think
But
we're in a magical time.
We're in
Yeah.
a magical
Yeah.
time because, like, for instance, it is a totally different time. Like, why am I blanking? Who won the tour last year? The little
Jonas Vingegaard.
Jonas
Thank
Vingegaard.
you.
Vingegaard. I
Yeah.
want to say Vingegaard.
I know.
That
I'm
would be
American, damn it. It's Vingegaard.
But he would never be winning any of these races.
Yeah.
I mean, Tade is winning everything across the board, right?
He's unique.
That's so cool.
Vingegaard is a tour specialist, and he's a beautiful one at
He
that.
is. He's an incredible rider.
Tadej Pogacar is a freak.
God's perfect creature.
He is God's perfect monster. Yeah, he's just unbelievable. So anyway,
Tade,
gentlemen,
please be on the show.
tell me. Yeah, that'd be a fun interview. That'd be fun. I'd be Chris Farley on that one. Remember when you won that race? And he goes, "Yeah, that was cool. That was awesome."
I'm so stupid.
No, I was that way with Sean Kelly. I'm not gonna lie. I was totally that way. And Stephen Roche,
Super fan.
Yeah, I was just like going.
Yeah.
I'm in my basement talking to Stephen Roche.
With the chubby.
Yeah, Bob Roll would be even cool. Like that you.
He interviewed him.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like
Bob hung up on me once.
Because he's at the airport.
Yeah, it was a two-parter.
go.
No, he wasn't an airport. He just said, "Hey, I gotta go." Click.
All right.
So what are you gonna talk?
maybe later. Anyway,
It was just this dead silence. Just this. Bob. Who are some writers that stand out to you guys? Jackson. I mean, I know who your 3 picks are, but who are some other writers that stand out?
I mean, like I mentioned to you earlier.
Oh my God, we only have 13 minutes left.
Yeah, I think Mads Pedersen is definitely somebody who can kind of poo-poo the parade of the big 3.
Is this Flanders you're talking about?
Yeah.
Flanders. Okay, let's just go. Sorry, let's just go one writer that stands out. Mads Pedersen.
sure. I'm going to tell you Jorgensen because I'm going to be a super fan.
Yep.
Wow.
What?
Wait, you just shut up. Pick somebody else.
That aren't the top 3.
That aren't the top
Okay,
3.
let's go to the
aren't
picks.
in the top 3 of that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll throw one out, and I'll
Mark
go with
Hirschi.
Seth Van Aert. Mark.
Okay. Stefan.
He got
David, you're not comfortable
not.
with the picking of riders and
David,
races?
here.
No, hang on. I
Nielsen Palace.
You're still
That's
looking
for
at the
David.
women's roster going, girls race bikes?
Nielsen Palace. David wants Nielsen Palace.
No, I do not.
Nelson's having a good season.
He is having a good season, and he's proven on the cobbles in the past.
He is.
I was gonna pick Van Avermaet in my top 3, and I was gonna try to get one of them out. And if I was gonna take one of them out, it was gonna be Vanderpool.
You are
Of those top 3.
Can we not invite him next week?
Van
I'm just saying.
The week after that? You don't even know what the top
love
3
you,
riders
man.
are.
I
Yes,
love
I
you.
do. We were talking
What
about
are the top 3 that we're talking
My
about?
top 3. My top 3 I'm picking. I'm gonna
everybody's gonna pick.
comfortably change. My top 3 I'm picking Wout van Aert because obviously I have
Yes.
to.
Yes.
I'm picking, but I'm not picking any of the other 2. I'm picking Casper Asgreen.
Oh.
And I'm
Who would be
and
the
I'm,
3?
And I'm no my 3 picks. And Casper Asgreen and Matteo Jorgensen. Those are my 3 that I'm picking for Flanders.
You're on the Jorgensen fan train now? Thank
I
you.
am. He had a beautiful ride a couple weeks ago.
did.
And he could open
Who
up a
called
can
that
of whoop ass.
Weeks ago.
Jackson, who are your 3 for Flanders?
Because I'm competitive, I'm going to pick Mathieu Van Der Poel, Wout van Aert, and Tadej Pogacar.
same.
Wait, we're picking this. Okay, well then, yeah.
Same.
Those are the 3.
See you
And I'm
guys in
saying
2 weeks.
I was
Those are
trying to-
votes for everyone here.
That's for
Yeah.
Flanders.
Just Flanders.
I didn't
I'm
pick
not
those.
Pushing it past there.
Did you hear me? I didn't pick those. So if Jorgensen or Casper Asgreen kick ass screen, I'm going to laugh at your ass screens. Suck it. Women's Flanders. I am picking because I believe in the return of Annemiek van Vleuten. I am picking Annemiek. I am picking I'm not going with completely favorites. I'm not picking a single rider from SD Works.
Okay.
Zoe Backstead. I think Zoe's got the cross skills, and if she can get the distance in, she's going to do something great. And I'm picking Sana Kant because I think Sana is her cross experience alone, top rider for Fenix de Koenig. I'd love to see one of those 2 riders. And yes, I'm a dreamer. I believe that things can happen. I believe they can fly. Jackson.
I am picking Lotte Kopecky, Marianne Vos, and Elisa Longo Borghini.
You're going to win.
Lottie Kopecky.
You're not taking a chance, but you're going to win.
Marina Voss.
No
Marianne
reason
Vos.
to.
Yeah.
I got Kopecky, Vollering, and Ludwig.
I'm the only one going for the long shots. David's like going.
I'm gonna watch this week. Yep.
All right.
So that's a start for me.
Now, Roubaix, we have horrible start lists. We do have horrible start lists. We have very limited start lists.
But they have my 3 picks.
As much as I respect the women, I don't think
Is
we need to
Corinne
pick the
Rivera
women
still
in this
racing?
race. Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's for Jumbo Visma.
Yeah.
Cool.
We have such a limited start list for the women that I don't think it would be fair to even begin to pick
Yeah.
names because we don't know who's going to start. And don't at me for neglecting the women's racing. I freaking love women's
Plus,
racing
we're all
right now.
going to pick American riders because go America. Chloe Dygert,
Yeah.
Rivera.
I don't know. I still have a problem with Chloe. I don't know why. I want her on the show, but if I keep saying that, it's not going to help. My Paris-Roubaix picks are. I'm going to go with my most outsider, Yves Lampard. I think he could. I think he's got another one in him. He's going to uncork another one, and I think Soudal Quickstep really needs to make up for some problems there this year. Their Spring Classics campaign has been terrible. Can we all agree?
The Wolf Pack is dead.
They don't have a very good looking team for this one.
You don't think so?
Did you?
I don't see a single name on there that's going to win.
Lampard was
Lampard's-
until he was he
Yeah.
got crashed out last year. He's
Yeah.
there. This is
But
his
this year,
race.
He's
I don't
always up
see
there.
it.
Did you hear what Lefebvre said about E3?
No.
So their
Oh,
team didn't do so
Jesus.
well, and they said, "What do you think about that?" He says the best part of this day
Yeah.
during E3 was my lunch.
Oh fuck.
He said the only good part of this day was my lunch.
And I'm going to be safe. I'm picking. I think Mathieu van der Poel is going to win Paris-Roubaix this year.
I think he deserves it.
And I also picked Wout van Aert because I would love to see a double. There hasn't been a double since Paul. I thought it was Peter Van Petegem.
Yeah, he
in
did. He did it in
2006.
2003.
2003.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So the latest. So, the double was done by Fabian Cancellara, and that was in 2013, and I was there. And then but I mentioned E3, so no one is. The last time somebody won E3, Flanders and Paris-Roubaix was Fabian Cancellara in 2013, also. But the year previous, which was 2012, if you do your math,
yeah.
was Bonin, and Bonin won
Bonin.
2000.
Bonin.
He won Ghent-Wevelgem, E3, Flanders, and also Roubaix.
He's our stats guy.
And the thing is I know this is what Wout's going to do. This is my prediction. He's going to do the double. And it's unfortunate. This is where it could kick back. That if he didn't, because he gifted Ghent to Laporte, that he could have been matched.
Did I not?
Yep, but it doesn't matter.
No, you know
the
what?
funny
All right.
thing is, he'll do it again. He'll do it again in his career.
All right. Jackson. Paris-Roubaix picks.
My
Men.
Paris-Roubaix picks are Mathieu van der Poel, Wout van Aert, and Mads Pedersen.
That's safe. You're
I'm staying away from
You
those.
want to win.
Yep.
I'm staying away from those. I'm going all American. Nielsen Palace, he's going to be there.
For Paris-Roubaix?
Yep.
He's too skinny.
He'll be there.
He's too skinny.
there.
Okay.
And then we're for sure going to have Matteo Jorgensen and the Israelis aren't even on the start list, but I'm just telling you they'll be there. Quinn Simmons is also going to be there.
No, he's not. He's only doing Ardennes. He's not doing. So you'll have to pick. I can.
No,
guarantee
that's
you that.
okay. You can pick that.
Look for Paris-Roubaix,
Yeah, he's not
Quinn Simmons.
You could pick
Yeah.
Magnus.
Well,
You could
maybe
pick
they
Magnus
changed,
Sheffield.
but
on
he
there.
talked about not doing the.
He's
cobbles.
on there.
You could
So-
pick Magnus
I'll let him
Sheffield,
have
who
it.
is an American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magnus has
Maggie,
a,
Maggie
yeah.
Sheffield.
Yeah,
All right, fine, sure.
but I would say if Quinn Simmons is on the list, then go ahead.
I'll
And then
pick any of the Americans, and
We'll allow you
American is
both.
going to win this year.
You're
Pretty
wrong,
great.
Paul.
I agreed with you with Lampard,
Yep.
and then Wout. It's like I
Yeah.
predicted, and then Sepp Van Marke because he got fourth just last week, and he seems to be starting to go well.
Paul, you're
And
just
this is
holding
his
a torch
last
for
one,
him,
yeah.
man.
34 years
Speaking of
old.
holding a torch, David,
I had this problem once.
it's just, there's a little handle that
I
should
know.
be right there. Jeez, I bought these stands. David, we know you're holding a torch for somebody special in your heart.
Okay, I would like everybody to just pay attention that I have not picked. I've kind of lost a little bit of hope. Just like I've been
So did I, David.
He's not
So
even
did I.
there. He's not even close. And I'm like, I can't keep making this
David,
bogus prediction every
David,
single week when
David.
he can't even be anywhere in the
Top 10.
yeah.
David.
So
to quote
I'm
Journey,
jumping.
Oh,
I'm jumping
don't
on the
stop
Wout
believing.
train.
Don't stop believing.
Well, I wasn't gonna pick him.
Just a small
But
girl
now he will.
living in a lonely world.
Yeah, but he's gonna. If I pick him, he's
took the
three.
midnight train going anywhere. It's a small town boy.
I'm losing
Born
faith,
and raised
Peter.
in South Detroit.
Give me a call. We can talk about it.
Took a midnight train going anywhere.
Do you have picks, David?
Yeah. I think Wout's gonna win, and then I had the same as Jackson, but Wout winning. So Vanderpool
Okay.
and
That's gonna be a good
Pedersen.
day.
Wild vet.
Yeah.
Okay, so same three.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Wout
Do,
winning.
do we all have Wout?
No,
We do
I have
all
an
have
American.
Well, so everybody that wants to participate has
Yeah.
Wout.
Yeah.
Everybody
When
playing
this
the game.
happens one day, I'm gonna
You're the-
shove it in all your
you're the-
faces.
Oh, when they win,
You're the
like,
guy-
America
no
is on the
race.
uptick.
You're the guy.
Remember,
in,
I'm 60.
you're the guy in
So-
Vegas at the Texas table.
Putting
it's
a
just like
dollar
going,
down,
it's like
and
going,
I'll get $1,000.
gonna win this, fucker!
Yeah. You're just all on red. Yeah.
What
it's
if-
just like going and the guy's going like, sir, this is a Wendy's.
What if Peter wins and I didn't pick him?
Then
You're gonna
I
feel really bad.
I was there when he won in Paris
Yeah.
Bay,
What?
2018. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
I got
actually-
pictures
I really
of him
didn't
like
know that.
blowing right past me. I was
That's
just
cool.
like,
When he fixed his headset.
No, not at that point. I was at Orsi, and then during what? I'll have to bring what? I'll have to what? I'll stop. I got it. What? I got it.
You guys, we don't have time
For the
That's
doc.
fine.
for doc or
That's
quick
fine.
tips. Are you okay with that? Because
Next
I was
week,
going to
next
ask you. I was actually my medical question tonight was a little personal. It was because,
We can still get to it after.
but I
Take
could,
500
after-
milligrams of Stifrin.
I could be
and
dead in
you'll
2
be
weeks.
fine because you're in your 50s.
We were all talking about Viagra, right?
Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought
500
Stifrin
milligrams is
is-
way too much.
Please say,
I was talking
please
about
say
ED
stiff.
problems.
Please, Stifrin. Is that the name of the drug?
ED. Yeah.
Different?
Stifrin?
It's
Really?
really
made it
called
up.
Stifrin. Oh,
Good
Like Stiffy?
that is. Yeah.
That is brilliant. It's like Boneroid.
Take us out.
Boneroid.
Pat, shut up. Okay, 1:29 into the show, and I think we started 3 minutes late, so that means we're over 1:30
Because of who?
because
Sam.
of Sam Waples.
Because of Boneroid.
Saving lives. You know,
Last week was called Waiting for the Waples. This week should just be called Boneroid.
continuation.
No, just
Boneroid.
Boneroid. Aroid.
Sure.
Try Boneroid. I can see the commercial now. Oh, you guys. Hey, we're so in other words, we're gonna technically take a week off, and that is almost a cardinal sin, being that we're missing the week between Flanders and Roubaix. But I think we will find some way to post all kinds of snarky shit on our Facebook, on our social media, and all those types of things, and we will catch you shortly thereafter. In other words, is anybody ready to do the potty dance yet? I'm feling a little bit of a bladder
I'm
strain.
doing it over here.
Yeah, if only there was a way to get a urinal down here. Hi, Jack. We will catch you guys in
2 weeks. A week and a half.
We can have.
14 days. No, 12 days. Something like that. Yeah,
2 days
Thanks.
shy of a fortnight.
exactly. Oh, you sound like Galloway.
So old.